Hi F2Ps, it's Goodfellow here from F2P.com, and today we are checking out Lords and Knights from Zerality. It is a medieval strategy. It is available on web browser and iOS and Android app. I believe it's available on both. We are obviously checking out the web-based client, completely free to play. And this is a first look from us. We've checked out the game a little bit just to kind of make sure everything works, kind of find our way around it. But this is essentially a first look. We don't know that much about the game. We're not trying to put ourselves across as experts. Anything that we say or that we would get wrong, that is based off overlooking some things, making presumptions sometimes, and generally just kind of coming up with stuff that is provided to us, based off the new player experience. So there's some things as a new player that when you come into a game that aren't initially that obvious. It takes a little while to get used to. So other players that have played the game might watch this video and go, this guy has no idea what he's talking about, and I agree, I don't, but that's what the point of a first look is. So like I said, we have looked around the game. We've already kind of formed some opinions on it, but I'm going to try and keep them to one side for now and just showcase it for you guys. So the whole point of the game is to build up your own castle, take over other castles, and then consolidate them into fortresses, and then consolidate fortresses into cities, and basically get bigger and bigger and bigger, and essentially kind of create your own empire. So there is PvP, and PvP is the mainstay of the game. You will be going up against other players, whether you are fighting for resources or fighting for the same area. You can only combine, I believe, castles that are within close proximity of each other to turn them and upgrade them into a fortress. Well, if you're battling out with other players to kind of lay claim to the same castle because you both want to convert it, then that kind of has ramifications. So it is a pretty simple game on the surface. I imagine there's quite a bit of complexity to it, but it is your traditional gather resources, as we can see at the top, and then build and upgrade buildings. So as far as I'm aware, nothing new will appear here. So when we are upgrading buildings, so here we go, we've got a not a mission, but it's kind of like guidance to upgrade the ore mine. So we will find the ore mine, click that, and there you go. So we are now upgrading it. Now we can rush it, and that costs us 3 gold coins, but we'll not do that right now. We've currently got 161, and these are just gold coins, premium currency, that we've been provided just through the the last few levels and kind of turns that we've had and completing some quests. So we've not purchased anything, but you are able to do so. Now the gold coins themselves will kind of come back around to later, but essentially it's kind of helps you to rush things along for the most part. So we could rush this along, but it's going to take 3 minutes. We'll see if there's other stuff that we can do before we get it going, and we can maybe get something else going at the same time. Upgrade your wood store. Okay, let's upgrade the wood store. So I mean, we're pretty much being guided with what to do, so it's not a massive challenge. Now this is just guidance. You do actually have events or quests. So we've got production buildings. Okay, production buildings at level 3, which we've done. So we claim our rewards, which gives us resources. Now we're kind of nearly maxing out our resources at the top. That might, so that has actually maxed out. I believe we just lose those. I don't think they necessarily go anywhere. I might be wrong, but these are our tasks at the moment. So complete 5 missions, reach an amount of points of 25, plunder 2 free castles, farm on level 3. The thing is that once we reach an amount of points of 25, and that is just done by kind of upgrading and kind of performing different tasks, and it'll just change that and say, oh, reach an amount of points of 30 or 40. So that just constantly changes. Plunder 2 free castles will probably upgrade to plunder 3 free castles because it was initially plunder 1 free castle. Farm on level 3 was probably farm on level 2, or maybe a different building on level 3. And so those are the events, and we'll put them in air quotes because there's not much to it. It's kind of a lazy quest system. And you know, even the quests themselves, it's not like the developers have put anything in the way of kind of um, lore or dialogue or any fluff like that. It is just okay. Just build your farm up, build the buildings up that you're going to be building up anyway. So those are our events, and again, that's just guidance. You don't need to do this kind of stuff, but the events will kind of reward you for completing that stuff. So while that's building, we can do a quick overview of all our buildings if we wanted to upgrade something. If we wanted to upgrade something different, so our arsenal, your building list is full, but you can expand it temporarily for 3 gold coins. So if we added in that and click OK, there you go. So we're now building 3. We have a free queue of 2 buildings on a free-to-play account. I don't know whether you can get a premium membership on this, but you can buy the gold currency, and that would allow us to expand our queue slots. So we'll kind of leave them going for now. You've got something similar with, you know, you've got buildings, you've got units. So units, you would click. I don't know. I've got plenty of spearmen, so let's get a swordsman. There you go. So they take a little while to build. Oh, we can't build that yet because we've swordsman. Okay. So we need a swordsmith before we can build that, which I think is a technology. The 6 that we've got, we must have received from quests. So right now, I guess we can only train up spearmen. And so transport capacity 12. So the speed of that is 11 minutes and 40 seconds. It's going to take up some population. It's going to take up our resources. And can't remember how we do that. I think we can actually just click the building. That might be an overview. There you go. So we can click our spearmen here. And we can click how many we want. We can click 5. And there we go. So recruit. Oh, we've got a task to recruit 5 spearmen. And we've just instantly completed it. Okay. Oh, it's because we've done that. Okay, cool. So because we decided we're recruiting 5 spearmen, we then got a task for recruiting 5 spearmen, which is that's okay. So yeah, so buildings, units, they're just your overviews of what's currently building and that kind of thing. So now on this side, and this is actually just going to highlight one of the things that I don't like about the game. This takes us onto mass functions, so when you control lots of different castles, you can get them all to do the same thing at the same time. Here, this is messages, reports, forum, alliance, events, profile. These aren't labelled, and they don't have any kind of like tooltips or anything when you hover over them. The same with this. Now, kind of look at this, you could go, okay, well, that's obviously wood. Now I know we've got stone and we've got metal, but is that like kind of like a copper ore, and that's stone blocks? Are those iron blocks? And that's kind of brick. So again, just a simple hover over would kind of clear that up. Copper. So this is copper coins, these are silver coins. Don't know what they do, just as a general overview. You kind of have to go digging out the information. Now, one of the cool things with the game, and I might not be able to get to this quite as easy. Let's have a look if Spearman has anything. No. Mass functions, maybe, but I can't unlock any of the mass functions. We'll see if it just kind of shows up somewhere else. Basically, in certain menus, there's a little eye for a pop-up, for a helper, and it opens up a little mini wiki inside the game. Obviously, it's not for everything, but we might be able to find some castles. I don't know. I don't know where to find it. I've just seen it. It's on random pages here and there, which is cool. You know, it's a wiki. It kind of lets you find stuff, but finding the wiki itself isn't even that easy. So, and obviously, these things like this, you'll learn straight away. Okay, it doesn't take that long to work stuff out. I'm fairly sure that is. Honestly, now that I've said it, I wish I'd opened my mouth. I think that's stone. ore. There we go. So that's ore. The orange one is ore. I was really going to kind of put myself up saying that that was iron ore and that was bricks. So you've got pink ore, stone bricks. See, even though I've played it, I still kind of wasn't 100% sure. Anyway, so yeah, with these you've got your city view. Let's just close this down. You've then got the world view. Oh no, sorry, region view first. So this is the region map, and you can scroll around. You can see all the other buildings. So blue ones, I think it's blue roof and no roof are players, and red ones are free castles. And the fact that it says free castle helps as well. So free castle means you can attack it. So while we're here, might as well just do an attack. You can find out various information about the actual castle itself. As a free castle, that's not going to give us much. So whereas if we click on Genesis Fort, you know, we can find out a little bit more about these people. Now, obviously, if you wanted to find out more, then you need to use your spies. That's actually where your copper coins come in, I believe. You would spend, I think you spend copper to send a spy, and they're only successful if the amount of copper that you've spent is more than the amount of copper that the individual settlement is currently holding. Because as you take control of different settlements, they all have their own resources, their own upgrades, so they kind of hold their own copper stores. I guess the idea is that you're trying to pay somebody within the settlement to spy and give you information, whereas if they've got more copper than you, then they're kind of paying more for the counter espionage, I guess. I guess that's the kind of the principle of it. But it's quite cool, you know, it's an interesting thing. You can also see that when we hover over these different buildings, we can attack with the last formation, which is pretty cool. I like that. If you just want to, you know, if you've attacked a few different places and you don't want to have to keep reassigning everything, we can just say, okay, well, let's attack with the last one. And it tells us at what time on the server time these are going to land. Now, from what I can tell, if they're going to land at 11:59:46 p.m., that's still staying in daylight time. I think the attacks can take a little while, so that could end up going into nighttime. And a nighttime attack is bad for you as an attacker. Good for the defenders, but you don't really want to do a nighttime attack. So, yeah, it's basically saying that nighttime is at 12 a.m. So if we started our attack, which let's just do it. Do you really want to attack the castle, free castle with the last? Yeah, let's attack with that. So there you go. Because we've started that, they now, and we even left it a little bit longer, they're now going to end up with a night attack, which isn't good for us. The defenses aren't that great, so we might still be okay. But again, it's just one of those little things that you got to think about. And depending on how far your units are having to travel, then the journey time can take a little bit longer. You have an arrival time calculator, but these things are just the little details that you have to take into account making attacks, which is quite cool. I think that's a good little system. Oh, by the way, here's one of the eyes. There you go. So here's your wiki. It tells you about all the different things that they can do. And again, it's, you know, it's an interesting little system that they've got going. Now that'll take a while. That attack. So that's gonna land at 12:01. Troop movements, yeah. So it's kind of letting us know everything that's going on, and it's all server time. It doesn't kind of stick with your own time. And then we'll get a battle report. So a little example of these from attacks that we've previously made. Free castle was not conquered. I think to conquer it you have to have a high amount of silver. I think it is. Obviously, oh, we lost a unit there. Not lost anything. Okay. Cost. Okay. So yeah, not conquered because you don't have enough silver. You have to build up. But I don't know how you build silver up, so that's not going to help us much. But you get all the battle reports, and they'll tell you how well you've done, and especially, and more importantly, with PvP, you know how many of your units have been destroyed, whether you severely weakened your attacker, which is always pretty important. But yeah, so this is the regional view. and you can kind of see your neighbors. You've then got the world map. So this is kind of where we are because we're new to this server. It basically puts you out on the boundaries, whereas the people right in the middle of the map are obviously going to be of a much higher level. So it starts us further out here. We're surrounded by other players that have, I guess, only more recently started. But that's not to say that you aren't playing the game all the time and are advancing quickly in comparison to someone playing casually. But it gives you a little bit more of a chance. Whereas the people clustered together in the middle, they're going to be a lot stronger and way out of your kind of scope of who you are going to be able to attack and defend yourself against. So there you go, just some more little snapshots, troop overview. This is your buildings overview, and then kind of just extra. And this thing, there's lots of little handy submenus. I guess these are just more like quick menus. These are the ones that you're going to want to be in the most. But just a little, a little hover over, a little tooltip, be handy. No, let's not cancel that. So you can create an alliance. We've created our own alliance, which isn't really going to mean much. And with that, you get your own forum. Are we the best alliance? Probably not. I'm the only member, and that was made by me in my own forum. But there you go. You have that option. And I mean, as you can see yourselves, it's not the most feature-packed game. I think it's very much geared towards being an app game. The fact that it is on iOS and Android, just being able to pick it up and check it out, and all you're really doing is managing your resources, continuously upgrading your buildings, and maintaining your empire. So trying to expand and get more castles, and the more castles you get, the more enemies you're going to get, the more rivals trying to fight for the same territory. So the bigger you get, the more time you'll really have to invest in this game. And at that point, I think it becomes a much more interesting game. Early on, I don't think there's that much to the game. It's a little bit boring. It's very limited, and I think that's artificially so. I think they've stripped back all the fluff, and they've cut back on quest NPCs popping up and saying, "Hi there, I'm Lord blah blah blah. Why don't you come and do that?" They're just like, "No, you guys aren't really interested in the story." And in fairness, it's pretty true. It's like just upgrade your buildings here, build your units there, and go and attack other players, and that's what the game's about. So it's kind of very, very limited, and gets rid of the fluff. It's kind of to the bare bones of what I guess the core of most strategy games are. For better or worse, it might not be the kind of thing that you necessarily love, but it kind of with that, it does kind of stand itself out. And so then, kind of like I said, you've got the premium currency, and it's not the cheapest. 600. I mean, it's not going to break the bank, but I mean, you can really kind of spend a lot of money quite easily. Your coins don't go that far if you spend them frivolously. You will use them to replenish resources, to quick build your buildings, to quick build troops, to make troops march quicker. So there's a lot of different ways to actually spend them. I don't think that would necessarily give you, a pay to win necessarily, but I think down the line it would definitely give you the advantage. Once you've got more castles, I imagine that you're probably going to have to start spending cash here and there. But there you go. So have I got some events that are completed? No, but I think my buildings might have. Yeah, they did. And that's kind of it. It's like I said, it's a very simple game, and not for everybody. But I think it will also have a great deal of appeal to players that just kind of want a no-frills strategy game. So it is free to play, so you can check it out. If there's anything that I've got wrong, anything I've said, then please feel free to let us know in the comments. If you've played the game and you've got experience with it, let us know what the end game's like, because we're only doing a first look. We don't know what the content and the strategy gets like later in the game. So it's always good to hear from experienced players. Let us know your own experiences in the comments below. But other than that, if you found the video useful, then please give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos when we release them, hit the subscribe button and turn the notifications on. You'll be informed as and when we upload any new videos. You can check us out on Facebook and Twitter at f2pcom, or over on our official website at www.f2p.com. So there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. I have been Goodfellow. As ever, you have been you. This has been Lords and Knights, and hopefully we shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.